Hello everybody, still Sunday, the 14th of August, and I wanted to make a follow-up video. Couple more things I wanted to say about what I was talking about this morning, and really wanting to say, that this earth is trying to teach us something. This is the living God, and we're supposed to be His image. Yeah, and then maybe we should start behaving like Him. Not like a God that wants dominion, the one of the Bible, but like the living God that is the earth. Now, before I start, and I want to, for those that maybe not watch my channel, just very quickly give my definition of a God, so there's no question about what it is I'm talking about here. Yeah? To me, a God is a self-conscious, a self-aware consciousness that is the start. From there you can gain knowledge and you can build on the consciousness and to find out who or what it is you are, but that is the start. And when I say self-aware consciousness, it does not have to be a consciousness like us that has taken form, solid form, but a consciousness in not solid form as well. I do believe there are consciousnesses that have not have taken solid form, but they do exist. So, that for starters. First of all, I want to talk about, again, one more time about the Greg Bradens, because and all of them, they're ones that boldly go and find new knowledge, which will be mined in the end. You've been set up for a fall. Yeah, they've already driven you into the temple. It's called Gaia now. And they've already separated you from the rest of the people. I mean, and if you do a weekly or something question and answer, forget it. There is no base in this world that will support you. The base is not capable of supporting you. And when they come for you, there will be nobody there. And whatever knowledge you find now will go into the vaults somewhere to serve again the will that wants to have dominion over this world. So that's what's going to happen. That's what happens every time. And as I said, as long as we don't have a base that can support itself and those members of itself that are actually finding knowledge that should serve them, should serve the base. So as long as we don't have a base that can support such a thing, it will never happen. Those that find the knowledge will be destroyed. And the base will go back into slavery. So, and then the next point that I want to talk about, as I said, a God is something that is self-conscious, and self-consciousness is the birth. That is all. But at some point, the self should grow up to take responsibility for itself. Not being led. I mean, children are being led. Children are being taught, children are being led, children are being abused. But at some point, the consciousness needs to take responsibility for itself. It needs to grow up. You're God, but you're a child God, and a very small child God at the moment. So at the moment, we're all waiting for something to happen. And this is the other point I wanted to talk about this morning, and that is the bride is making herself ready. Yeah? We are the bride. We should make ourselves ready. And what is it we're making ourselves ready for? What is humanity getting prepared for? Well, there are those that are getting dressed up to go into slavery. Some of them because they think there's nothing else for it anyway. And then you have the Christians that are actually going there shouting glory, hallelujah. They actually think that is salvation. Going into slavery. Being ruled over. I mean, they are completely deranged. And then you have the other crowd that, as I said, they follow David Icke, to infinity and beyond. They're preparing for that. It's not just like the David Icke crowd, it's the bloody Wilcox and the Blue Chicken ones, and those that are just standing here preparing to join the Palladians or something like that. So they're off into space. What I do not see is the bride standing, on terra firma with both feet and trying to prepare to take responsibility for herself, to become independent, to become free and have self-rule. That is the bride I'm not seeing anyway. Yeah, and those that are, again, running around trying, we're trying to wake the people up. Well, the sheep are running at the moment. They're scattered. There is no support base. We are not our own support base, which is what we need to be. Yeah, so they're running scared with no hold. And those, we are so awakened. We're shouting at you. You're all gonna die. Yeah? They're killing you. They're doing, the medical procedures or whatever, and they're going to put stuff in your head, and you're all going to die. Yeah, well, thank you. That is so helpful. Yeah? That will really do the trick. What the hell do you think you're doing? People are scared out of their wits. A lot of them. Well, and those that are not, you make sure that they will be. As I said, there is no support base for anybody. There's no hold. There's nowhere to run. And you're putting the fear of God, COVID, and the Rothschilds into them. Yeah. Helpful. Really good. Right. So the last point that I had this morning, and when I said we cannot connect to each other on all points, and there are moments when we can be fully open and connect to another person fully, and those are wonderful moments. But I said they are few and far between, and I didn't want to make it sound like that is all there is and you might never get there. It sounded like that. I thought about it afterwards. That is actually not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is you're trying to go for the jackpot. Yeah? It's all or nothing. You're going for the jackpot. And what you're not seeing is the little things. The little things that we can give to each other. Like encouragement, like a warm word, like a hug, like comforting. Those are also moments where we give of our positive energy to each other. So it is not waiting for the one big jackpot when it happens, and you're not seeing all the small things that should sustain you and that should keep you going. And the other thing is like the future. Have something prepared, have a pension, something for the next 20 years, which are now going down the drain anyway. But, plan ahead for the next 20 years. And Jesus said, don't even worry about tomorrow. Know something will be given. And if you know that every day, you can get 20 years together that way. Again, through small things. Not holding on for the big jackpot at the end, especially not if they are set to blow up your jackpot well before you reach it. And said, there is the God of small things. As I said this comment, are you a God? Can you loosen I still haven't got it right, the belt of Orion, something like that, the bands of Orion. No. And I wouldn't want to. And it's actually the the ones that think themselves gods here, that want to do these God Almighty things, that are actually creating all the havoc here. They are the ones that are creating the havoc. But the rest of us needs to wake up to the accumulation of small things to make a big one. That is the correct way. Be the God of small things. And know there are 7.8 billion other gods on this earth now. And if we all do the same thing, we're going to build something huge. Far bigger than what they can build. Far bigger. But as I said, we need to get out of judgment of each other. We need to know that one of us cannot do it all and that we only can connect. We build the web by me having 5 connections, they have 5 connections, they have 5 connections, and so on and so forth. And all the little people doing little things. That is how you build a strong web. And the more connections you can build, the stronger the web will get. And you build connections by giving to each other. Not by telling each other about the Rothschilds, but by going up there and asking them and actually taking an interest. You know, I've heard your mother was sick. Talk to me about it. How about your children? You know, giving advice to one another. Stuff like that. That is how you build connections. And that is how you build trust. That's another thing we need. Trust amongst each other. Starting with small talk and going from there. And if we were that, lots of little things given to one another, and some of them, okay, they create hurts, but the hurts are still not separate from everything else, but they're giving to everything else. And then we are the image of the living God. That is what Earth is trying to tell us. Because that is nature. Nature is made out of God knows how many different little parts that are completely different from each other, that can give to each other and receive of each other and create a whole. And I tell you something, that whole will still be here long after we are gone. Because it knows something we don't right now. But that is what we need to know. Nature can do it. An elephant is nothing like a tree. And they're still part of the same system. And then we are the image of the living God. We will be the image of this earth. And between us, we will be as strong as nature itself. But that is the only way. How do we get there? I don't know, but every one of us must think. We must become first. Every one of us must think like that, speak like that, act like that. Yeah? And at the moment we need to, because we're probably not like that. You know, we need to kind of reprogram ourselves to become that. Because you cannot create the whole if the parts are not what the whole is supposed to be. Again. I don't know. I mean, this is the moment where I'm always stuck. Where do we go from here? I mean, preach to each other, yes. But then again, the preacher must be what it is he's preaching. Otherwise, you'd be like all the other politicians we have now. You know, say one thing and do another. And that ain't going to work. People have woken up to that. And they will see it in you. Anyway, any bright ideas, please let me know. Anyway, I leave it at that for now. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.